Yes, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. I am Shweta. I'm a freelance Hindi translator. I'm skilled in using Microsoft Office application. I have a good typing skill, both Hindi and English. And I love to create content. So I have a YouTube channel named Improve English with Shweta. I'm
Oh,
passionate about learning English. So that's why I'm sharing my English journey on my channel. And in my spare time, I love singing, playing games like badminton, carom, riding my scooty. So, and I believe in honesty and hard work. So this is all about myself.
oh, that's great.
I
You are a Hindi content writer or like a
not,
what
it's
do
a
you?
translation work. I have to translate English documents into Hindi. So yeah, it's a translator. I'm working as a freelance Hindi translator.
Oh, that's great because I'm not very good at Hindi. Although I can read Hindi, but I'm not very good at writing because sometimes I make like some errors while writing, so I don't know much about it. Um, Honestly speaking, I'm from Hindi medium, but now you know that I've been teaching English for a very long time, so I don't have to write a lot in Hindi. I do read Hindi sometime, as we say that it is a beautiful language. It is the language of our country. So now, as you are also already running a YouTube channel, so let me introduce myself now. My name is Gaurav. You already know that I am a teacher of English. I have been teaching for more than 13 to 14 years, and I love playing cricket, and I listen to music also in my spare time. So that's all about me.
Wow, happy to know. And it's been long you are teaching English, so you have a lot of experience in the field of English. So yes, I want to learn from you because I am in the journey of learning English, and your accent is a little bit different. So very impressive. So I want to know how you learn English and your journey, because as you mentioned, you are also from Hindi medium
Yes.
state or like medium, but you improved a lot along with your accent. So it's a wonderful thing. So I want to know about your journey and how can we develop these things in our spoken
Honestly
English.
speaking, journey so far has been a roller coaster ride for me. There were many ups and downs. As you already stated that I'm from Hindi medium, so Hindi medium student, I can easily relate with them. The kind of journey that they simply go through. When I was in school, I was not very good at English. My teachers were teaching from Hindi to English, and you know that in Hindi medium schools, even teachers of English speak Hindi. So I was not very good at English, as I said earlier. So my journey started after second year, when I was a second year student. So I realized that the English is something that I need to work upon. So I started paying a lot of attention on my communication skills. I paid like a close attention on grammar, and I spent almost 4 or 5 hours in listening. I used to watch television a lot. I used to watch some British programs and some of the radios. When you go online, there are some options where you can listen to those radios from different countries. So I used to listen to BBC podcast on BBC radio, BBC news channels. So that's how this thing came.
Wow. Yes, so I would say that practice makes a man perfect, and you are the best example of it.
No, I'm on the
So
journey of getting perfection. I know that nobody's perfect, so still
yes, yes.
there is a long way to go.
Yes, yes. So I want to know because you have a lot, you teach a lot of students. So I want to know when it comes to learning grammar. Generally, we learn through Hindi. Means we construct a sentence. Ram jata hai, Ram goes. So we use Hindi sentences along with English, and then we started learning grammar. So what is your opinion in that case?
Initially, that is important for a learner who has just started learning English. You know that because that person is not able to frame simple sentences. So, what I do, my approach is quite simple. So, I first check the level of a student. If he is not able to form simple sentences, even I have students, those who are not aware of even pronouns in English. They do not know the meaning of they, he, she. And I am talking about Delhi because I teach in Delhi. Delhi is the capital of India. So there are so many students, those who get confused sometimes. They know he stands for Veh, but they do not know, sometimes they get confused whether it is used for a girl or boy. So these kind of problems, and some basic sentences that they are making they are like making a lot of mistakes in. And so I start telling them that first you need to go through some of the basic translation for 10 or 15 days, and then I simply snatch that cushion. Because if you keep translating from one language to the other, then you will be very much into that frame of mind where you will think in Hindi first and then you will go for English translation. So what I do, I try to teach afterwards, like after translation. So I try to impart knowledge in English. I try to make them understand by speaking Hindi, but I try to make them write everything in English. Like I try to teach tenses and other grammatical structures and all, but only English to English so that they can understand. So once they start understanding basic sentences, so I give them some basic topics like talk about this classroom. Can you talk about your pen? Can you talk about
It's
mobile
topic
phone?
wise. Okay,
Yes,
topic.
small,
You give
like
topic.
small sentences, small topics. So first they need to learn how to frame sentences. Model sentences, as you know, that verb to be. So once they learn that, then verb to have, and then we go for tenses.
Mm. When it comes to grammar, I usually make mistakes while speaking in tenses and conditional sentences. So I learn lot of time, but when it comes to applying on my speaking, I forget. Forget. So
Because we are,
what should I do in this case?
yes, our approach is totally different. First, when we are writing the sentences, we start simply behaving like a computers. We think about a sentence which is not in reality. If you are sitting in a classroom, start making some sentences on that classroom. If you are learning present
Okay.
simple, you know that present simple is used for day to day activities. So start writing those activities. When you write about yourself, it is quite simple, subject plus first form, but you have to write about your family members or a third person, so that you will learn how to use s or es at the end of a verb. You know,
Mm.
present simple is one of the most important tenses. So once you understand that, because on daily basis we have to speak a lot, and those
Yes.
sentences are in present simple. So once you get a mastery, and there are a number of students, those who are in my offline classes, so everybody tries to correct each other. So we are not always
Okay.
like scrutinizing those students by saying that you have made this mistake or you have made that mistake. If somebody has attained a particular level, then we start saying that you are at this level, so you should not make a mistake like this, because it is going to be a silly mistake for you. But if there is a person who has just started, so we encourage that person by telling him that no problem, keep making mistakes, but
Mistakes are.
always try
Mm.
to make different mistakes or new mistakes.
As you advise that we should generally focus on present tense, because this is most useful tense we generally use. But as far as conditional sentences, they are unrealistic and very rarely we use in our conversation. So
So
we
you
must
can use this,
we
like
should.
if you are in fifth standard, you have to study which is related to your class. But if you study something from eighth standard or 10th standard, that is not useful for you. So once you reach that level, then you will definitely go for those sentences. Conditional sentences are not that much difficult that we simply think, but there should be a condition. First, we need to learn the basic sentence formation, and afterwards we can learn those other grammatical things like tenses, modals, and other things. And once you are done with all of them, then you can go for framing some conditional sentences. As we already know that there are three or four, sometimes four, you can say that conditional sentences. Zero condition is already there, but we don't use that a lot.
I interrupting you. Sorry for that. Like,
It's
see,
okay.
generally we a lot of materials are available on YouTube for learning conditional sentences or everything. But generally we get these materials in Hindi to English. So my question is again, in what way we should learn conditional sentences? Because people who learn conditional sentences, that means the person has crossed the learning tenses, modals, then comes to conditional sentences. So in that stage, what the correct way to learn conditional sentences?
One more
through
thing that
Hindi
I
or
want to highlight first before going into conditional sentences, when we learn grammar or when we are taking some grammar lessons, so we need to understand that we should apply those rules of grammar while speaking. So once you start speaking, then you will be pretty much comfortable. Otherwise, it will become like a school syllabus where you are just doing all those grammatical lessons or grammar related portion that you are doing. So later on you would not be able to put those things into practice, because when we come out of a school we have one thing in our mind: let's go through this particular book, next year we have another book. But
yes, yes,
when it comes to speaking, or you want to enhance your communication skills, so things are different. So we need to
mm,
have an approach where we are using them. So by giving them different situations, once they start speaking, then we can add some conditionals into that. Like if you say that, if I go to if I go to the market, I will buy this. So here two structures are combined with this particular method, then you can go for it. Or you can go for imagination conditional type second, where you are saying that if I were a king, or were I a king, I would do this, I would do that. So these things will follow later on.
yes. You correct. You said very correctly that we learn English as a language, a subject,
It is not a
as a
subject.
subject.
Yes.
Initially, yes, in our school days we learn like a subject, but English is as a language. When it comes to using as a language, our approach should be different.
Yeah, look at me right now. I'm trying to speak in a very simple English. Why I'm doing that? Because there are a number of people, those who will get benefit out of it. Those who are going to
Yes,
listen to this conversation might be they are the beginners, or they have just started their English speaking journey. So when we learn few things, because once we attain that particular level, so then we can go for some complex structures or compound sentences. But initially, basic sentences or simple formation of sentences is required. But another
yes.
problem is that whenever I teach, most of the students are 18 plus, 20, 25, sometimes 30 or 40
Hmm.
even, or
Because
60 even.
after 12th we face challenges to speak English when it comes
So
to
then there is a problem to teach
station.
those people, because they are under constant pressure by the society, by their friends and family members also. Once you get your graduation degree, they want to see you working somewhere. So when
Yes,
you
yes.
come to
And
learn
one more
English,
thing,
mhm,
yeah, one more thing, what I observe, even the person who is better than me, like so we feel hesitate to speak in front of them, and we start when it comes to like speaking, we started feeling low confidence. So how to overcome in this problem? So and not
confidence.
only for viewers, I also want to learn from you, because see, you have a lot of experience in spoken English. So
So
like when it comes to having session with you, I have a lot of fear that oh my god, he has a lot of experience in English and I am learning English. How I can face with that person? But how can we overcome this challenge? Many people have that type of fear, whether they speak
yes.
or not, but they have a lot of fear that that person, oh my god, that person has a good English or speaks so well English. How can I interact with that person? So I don't approach with that person. So in this case, what should we do? How can
So
we overcome
experience, when you talk about experience, so experience is a different thing. Let's keep that aside. When somebody is not confident enough to speak, so how does that person become more confident? That's what you are asking. So confidence comes by practice. The more you practice, the more you get out of it. Because confidence, as I said, that comes by practice. So you have to speak to people. Nowadays we have internet, we have YouTube and many other platforms where we can listen to people, even we can interact. Right now we are doing that. So by talking
Mhm.
to them, we don't have to think like that we are being judged. We just need to enjoy speaking. It's only a language. We don't have to make it complicated by simply using those typical difficult words, because sometimes I've seen that people are talking to kids and they use those fancy big words that those people are not able to understand. Why don't they do the same kind of thing in Hindi? When they speak Hindi, they have a double standard. So we do not understand this. Language proficiency is okay. When I get somebody who has good knowledge of this language, then I can simply go ahead and simply use those typical difficult structures and sentences and word meanings. But honestly speaking, we have to have a very simple approach. It's only a language which should be understood by everyone. So once that understanding develops, once you start speaking and the other person is giving you all ears, it means your journey is on the right direction. Otherwise, most of the time we start speaking to people, those who are like always believe in show off, like I know this, I know that. So these people make them negative, or they make them feel that they do not know anything. When I talk to
Hmm.
somebody who is not very good at English, so I try to speak in a manner which is very comfortable for that person, so that that person will feel comfortable talking to me. So that's how we can develop that trust, and later on, that person will also gain some confidence.
Yes, yes. So in this time, I feel that mindset matter a lot. Whether it's a
Yes.
learner or a teacher, both have good mindset. Then it becomes like easy for everyone for learning English, because there is a lot of craze for learning English. But if your mindset is good, both for learner and educator, then it will become easy, and it's an enjoyable journey, I can say.
Yeah, there is always a like a communication gap that people create. Sometimes lack of communication is also a problem because we are confined to our four walls. We don't go outside. We don't interact with people. If you are not talking to others, how would you improve? If you do not even talk to people in Hindi, how can you speak to them in English? So first we need to develop a habit of speaking. You can talk about anything if the other person is, and sometime I have heard people saying that, sir, I really want to talk to someone, but how would I start? I simply say
Yes.
one hello, one hi can simply initiate. You can initiate in this way. You can simply say, hi, how are you? If that person is showing interest, go ahead and talk to that person, ask some basic questions so that you can understand that person's interest. If I talk about your interest, I can talk on and on. But if I always talk about myself, my own interest, then other person might lose his interest. So we
Lose.
have to
Get
have
bored.
that.
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
have to have that thinking in our back of our mind that other person is also important because we should take care of listeners.
Yes, yes, very nice. All the things are very useful for an English learner. So, last tips, what you want to share with viewers so that they can make this journey enjoyable? Because it's not a language learning. I feel that this journey changed my life a lot. It's confidence, your way of thinking. You interact with lot of people. So this journey is not just language learning. It will change your personality, I would say. So, what tips would you like to give to our viewers at the end of conversation? It's going long, I think.
So whenever you are surrounded by some people, those who know how to speak English, always take initiative. You don't have to wait for the other person to knock your door. Simply go ahead and talk. You don't have to think about your mistakes. If other person is your he's your friend or someone who cares about you, so that person might correct you if he knows how to speak English or he is better than you. If that person doesn't know much and he is also interested in talking, so you will gain a lot of confidence that I know better than this person. So we don't have to think about our mistakes all the time. Initially, you can do one thing. When you start a conversation, for first 1 or 2 minutes, think about grammar, think about that vocabulary, and later on enjoy speaking. And one of the most important things is that you should listen a lot, because a good listener can be a good speaker. So when you listen to others speaking, so then you will understand what kind of questions I should ask and how to ask questions and how to answer, what kind of expression should be there, because English is all about expressions and how do you use your body language. We always talk about grammar, vocabulary, and other thing. What about pronunciation? What about your body language? That plays a vital role, that is very crucial for a learner. So we need to observe others when they are speaking. We need to observe others, how do they use their lips movements and
Lips,
pronunciation.
tongues.
Yes. So when I teach pronunciation, because a lot of people come to me and they say that I want to speak like this, I want to speak like that, because sometimes they come from different parts of the country, sometimes from Bihar, UP, and other places. So they have a problem called mother tongue influence, MTI, or regional tongue influence. So I try to go for reduction of their like a, I must say that like a local accent which they put in that. So I don't try to make them speak like British or American. I simply tell them speak neutral so that people can understand you, and use right pronunciation and frame smaller sentences. There is a very nice rule that I apply. KISS. Keep it simple and short.
Oh my God. Yes, KI. Yes, yes. Keep it simple. Oh.
Yes, we should keep everything simple so that other person will enjoy thoroughly.
Okay. One last question I want to ask you, Gauravji. Why BBC? As you told me that you love to watch BBC podcast or BBC News. There are lots of channels
Honestly,
available. So, is there any specific things which we will get from BBC?
I can't answer this question in a very appropriate manner because at that time I did not know much. So that was a channel I saw once at my friend's home. I did not have a cable connection at my home, so I started like putting a particular like wire on the cable wire that used to go in front of our home so that I could get the signals. So that's how I was getting cable connection at
Yes.
my home free of cost. So when I enjoyed that particular talk on BBC, I went to my friend's home and I saw that particular program. So I decided that let's listen to this kind
Continue
of
it.
channel. So this is something that is quite intriguing. So I started getting a lot of word meanings and sentence structures. So I paid a lot of attention to that. I did not know where I was going and what I was learning. I was just enjoying. I had nobody to prove myself. I didn't never wanted
That
to
time
talk
you
to any.
didn't teach.
No,
That
I
time
was
you
not into
didn't teach.
teaching. I never wanted to be a teacher, as I said in some of my other videos. I was just
Okay.
enjoying talking to people outside my place because the place that I come from, a lot of people do not know much. So there was no English speaking environment at my home or in my surrounding. I was from a school where nobody was speaking English. So it was very difficult to communicate with anyone. So I started watching these kind of programs and I went for shadow speaking. Shadow speaking in the sense like you are speaking and I'm imitating that. I'm copying that.
Yes.
So that's what I used to
Okay.
do. So that's
Mhm.
how I learned a lot of things like Harry Potter series, when Harry speaks, Harry, what are you doing here? So I used to copy that. I don't put that kind of accent right now because it looks very funny. When I used to teach that in my class, a lot of people used to laugh at me when I started teaching almost 15 or
But
13
if
years
you
ago.
go to talk with foreigners, they enjoyed it, your accent. They feel
Yeah,
that
I worked
you are
with,
speaking like them.
yes, I have worked with some of the companies, some of the British companies where I was talking to British people almost
Foreigners.
8 or 9 hours every day. So that
Okay.
also helped me a lot.
So, Gauravji, we started our journey, there is a trigger point or there is any incident happen in our life, then we feel that, okay, now we have to learn this language and we realize
Yes.
the importance of this language. So, is there any incident related to it when you started your English
So
learning journey?
what made me learn this language? That's what you want to
Realize
ask.
that, okay, yes,
Yes.
you have to
Yes,
learn
there
English.
is always a particular point like this. I still remember I was standing at a shop where some girls were speaking in English and they were friend of my friends. So I was with two or three friends. So when they all were speaking in English, I was just looking at their face. I was holding my face down, so I did not know what to say at that time. I was able to understand a bit. I was not very good at English at that time. I did not learn anything. So those girls asked me a question, like, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a student of second year." So they said, "Don't you know how to speak English?" I said, "No, I don't know. I am from Hindi medium." Then they started laughing at me. At that very moment, I realized that this is something that I seriously need to work on. So I felt very humiliated because most of the people, those who were in my college, they used to, because I was from regular college. So I was from Hindi medium and English speaking people were there in my class. I was from history honors. So many students were from science background. They came to prepare for IAS because they choose history as a main subject. So sometime from science they directly come to history honors. So that's how I started learning this particular language. I started paying attention. I had nobody to get any knowledge from because I was so shy to ask people for help. I thought they might
And
laugh
as
at
you
me.
mentioned that you have to struggle to get a connection and
Yes,
watch news. So yes, in this era, everything is available on one touch in your mobile.
but I
But
did
that
not
time,
have a
yes,
phone
it
at that
was,
time. I did not
yes.
have a.
So
I
we
later on
faced
I
a lot
bought a
of
phone.
difficulties.
Yeah,
Mhm.
later on I bought a phone that was keypad phone. I used to go to the nearby cyber cafes where I used to get a headphone. They were charging around 15 rupees per hour. So I used to spend time there listening to those BBC podcast and other news channels. So that's how I was practicing. I did not know that whether this thing is going to help me in future or not. I did not know that time, that particular time, and I never knew that I would be discussing that with somebody like you in future. So now a lot of people ask me about my stupidity or those things that I did to learn English. So that was a journey so far, and there are many more instances where I was
Yes, it's
associated.
true. Yes, it's true. When you have a passion or willingness that I have to learn, then no one can stop you. So it's very important to you have to have a willingness to learn this language,
So
because
there will be
without
a time,
courage, without
yeah,
difficulties, you can't learn.
like there will be a particular time or a particular stagnation in your learning journey when you would think that nothing is happening, everything is quite stagnant, nothing is going ahead, I am at the same place, I'm not able to communicate well, I'm not able to learn new things. So should I go ahead and should I leave it? At that very time you need to realize that you started this journey with a vision. So keep that vision in mind, keep working hard. It takes time. When you want to build an empire, it takes time. For building a particular hutment or small house, it takes very less time. So if you have bigger dreams, you need to have a big heart. You need to put a lot of efforts into it, because learning a language is not a piece of cake. It requires a
Yes,
lot of efforts. But I'm not saying that it is quite difficult to learn. It is quite easy, but you need to just be consistent with
be
whatever that you are
consistent.
doing, and keep getting
Yes,
knowledge
yes,
from people around, because nowadays, as you know, that as you have already discussed, YouTube is there, many other platforms are there where we can get connected with people and learn a lot of things. And don't be
yes,
shy. Whenever you feel like speaking, talk. Let the people decide. You don't have to simply think that, oh, they might laugh at me or not. If they are laughing, it's good. Laughing is, you know, that laughter is a good medicine. So in this stressful
yes,
world, if somebody is laughing at you, it doesn't matter. Might be in future you will get a certain level. They would not be able to match that level. So keep working hard. You don't need any motivation. You don't need anyone. Everything is inside. You just need to have firm belief in yourself that I can do it. If this person is able to do that, so what is stopping me?
yes, yes. Very
So
true.
I
It was
think
a
we should
lovely
stop that now.
talking with you, and very motivating talking with you, Gaurav ji.
Same
So
here.
yes, it's very true. Very true.
Yes.
We need to be motivated always and energetic towards learning this language. So this is the mantra. Okay, very nice talking
It's
with you.
lovely
It's
talking to
going.
you also. I'm looking forward to talking to you in future also. So we would have a lot of sessions like this. So it's a learning
I
session for
also
me.
want to. Yeah, I also
Yes.
want a lot of questions to learn to know from you, but it's going long. Our conversation is going very long.
No, it's
So
okay. Let's leave something for the next videos. So we'll definitely come
okay.
up with some more questions. Next time you can bring those bundle of questions. I would love to answer those questions. If I have something, I would definitely ask you. So till then, take care, and nice talking to you.
Same for you. Same. Take care.